Hi everyone, my name's Charlotte Reynolds and I'm the author of the Socks and Mittens adventure series. Today I'm going to read to you the first in the series, Socks and Mittens Go Exploring, and I hope you enjoy it. It was a bright sunny day in the garden. Socks and Mittens were busy chasing the leaves that danced in the breeze when Socks sighed. "What's the matter?" asked Mittens. "Why do you seem so sad?" "I'm not sad, Mittens," replied Socks. "I'm bored. I want to go on an adventure." "What sort of adventure?" asked Mittens. "You don't mean you want to leave the garden, do you?" "Why not?" said Socks. "We're not kittens any more. We should be allowed to go exploring." And off Socks went to the end of the garden. Mittens wasn't so sure that was a good idea, but she followed Socks anyway. Someone needed to keep her out of trouble. With a quick glance to make sure the humans weren't watching, they squeezed through a gap in the hedge. "Wow!" cried Socks and Mittens together. "What on earth is that?" Trundling along in front of them was a huge tractor ploughing a field. "It sounds angry," said Mittens. "Maybe we should explore somewhere else." But Socks had already gone. Bounding up to the tractor, he tried to catch the dirt as it flew in the air. "Come on, Mittens, this is fun." Anxiously, Mittens followed her sister, but within minutes they were dancing around, catching dirt and chasing each other. "What are you doing?" came an unusual voice. It was the farmer. "You can't play here. It's dangerous, and you'll get hurt. You have to explore somewhere else." Socks and Mittens stopped playing and looked upset. "Where should we go now?" wondered Mittens. "Let's try over there. It looks—" Before she could finish her sentence, Socks had already ran to the other side of the field and climbed to the top of a huge pile of hay bales. "Come on, Mittens," Socks yelled. "Don't be a scaredy cat." And she beckoned Mittens to the top. "Wow," whispered Mittens. "Look at that. We can see for miles. I wonder how long it would take us to explore all of that." "Only one way to find out," said Socks. "Let's make it our mission to explore everything we can see. But first, you need to catch me." Socks darted right. Socks darted left. She jumped down to the ground. She jumped high up into the air. All the while, Mittens followed her in hot pursuit, missing her by a fraction of a whisker each time. They were just starting to really enjoy themselves when they heard an unusual squawk. "Excuse me, but you seem to be in our resting area." It was a seagull and a flock of his friends. "This is where we sit and wait for the farmer to plough up all the yummy treats from the ground." "Oh, we're sorry," said Mittens. "We didn't know it was yours. We were just exploring." "If you want to explore," continued the seagull, "may I suggest the riverbank down there? There are lots of places to hide and explore, but be careful. The water is very cold and very deep." "Thanks," answered Socks. "Let's go and—" But before she could finish her sentence, Socks had already raced across the field to the river. The seagull was right. There was tall grass to hide in, leaves to chase, and mice to catch. Socks and Mittens were having so much fun. Until suddenly— "Ah, Mittens, help!" It was Socks. She had jumped after a leaf as it got caught in the wind, but jumped too far and landed in the river. Mittens didn't know what to do. She tried to find some long grass to use as a rope, but she couldn't find any strong enough. She tried to use some big leaves as a float, but they wouldn't work either. "Hold on, Socks. I'm going to find some help." "Don't leave me," cried Socks. "I'm not a very good swimmer." "I'll be right back," said Mittens. She ran up the grassy riverbank as quickly as she could. Frantically, she looked around for something that could help and was just giving up hope when she had an idea. "I've got it," she thought. Racing past the riverbank and back to the hay bales, she found the seagull still waiting patiently. "Mr. Seagull," Mittens panted, "please, I need your help. It's Socks. She's fallen in the river and I can't get her out. She can't swim." "Lead the way, Mittens," instructed the seagull, and they all followed Mittens back to the river. Swooping down, Mr. Seagull scooped Socks up with his beak and flew her to safety. "You're very lucky, Socks," he said. "You could have been hurt." "I know," said Socks, hanging her head as she tried to dry herself. "I made a mistake. I think we should probably go home now." "A very wise idea," replied the seagull. "I'll tell you what. Why don't you and Mittens hop on and we'll give you a ride back home?" "Oh, thank you," exclaimed Mittens. "That's very kind of you." They climbed onto the seagull's back and showed them the way to the garden. Could you possibly take us to the hedge? Asked Socks. We weren't supposed to leave the garden. I think our humans will be worried. And sure enough, as they jumped off and snuck back through the hedge, they heard calls of Socks, Mittens, where are you? And the familiar sounds of the treat tin shaking. That was close, said Mittens. I think we'd better stick to exploring the garden for a little bit longer, don't you? Good idea, said Socks. I've had quite enough adventure for one day. And they both bounded up the garden path, purring and meowing their hellos to their humans. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the first story in the Socks and Mittens adventure series, Socks and Mittens Go Exploring. I hope you will enjoy the rest of your World Book Day celebrations and enjoy the other authors that you're going to be listening to throughout the day.